All right, folks, we are back. Final segment with Joe Banister. And you were just talking about that one statute that the last caller brought up and how you're not a fan of it. I mean, people do get convicted of this. I mean, Sherry Jackson, and I want your answer on why you're not fond of it. But Sherry Jackson, who's in America Freedom to Fascism, they had another go at her. Like you were saying, sometimes they don't give up after one go. And they got her last year, right? Or was it even, it might have been 2 years ago now.
2007. And Sherry, is every bit as innocent as myself or any of the other people in the tax movement. But the government, is rabid to discredit us and silence us. Mm-hmm. And, it's a long story, so I can't really get into it. But they basically railroaded her, and she wasn't prepared for some of their dirty tricks. And, by the grace of God, I was able to, walk through that minefield. But I just as easily could have been, it could have been.
And what was her sentencing, by the way?
She got it's a 1 year per tax return, and there were 4 tax returns that they claimed that she was required to file. So 4 consecutive years.
And that seems to be the same thing they got Snipes on. All the felony charges were thrown out of court. He got off on all those, but then they brought up those little misdemeanor charges. They charged him to the full extent of the law. They said that there was 3 tax returns, and those are the 3 years they're trying to give him now, and it's in appellate court currently.
Yeah, he was acquitted of all felony charges, and actually the misdemeanors, which was the willful failure to file a tax return, the jury acquitted him of some of those and convicted him of some. So it wasn't even a consistent verdict on the misdemeanors.
So you're telling me they went after him for more than 3 of his tax returns with the same charge?
I believe it was 5 years, and the jury acquitted him of 2 years and convicted him on 3, even though it was the same charge.
Very interesting.
For different years. So you never know.
What I want to know is why people aren't taking America Freedom to Fascism, throwing it in the DVD player as their final argument. Because they let you do whatever you want. I mean, I can't imagine somebody watching that film and just, not being completely blown away or seeing somehow that it's a scam. I mean, Aaron Russo sits down with one of the head guys, the commissioner of the IRS, and he cannot get a straight. I mean, the guy will not answer the question. Yes, there's a law. Here it is. Not at any point in the interview.
Right. Well, again, though, the court is such a controlled arena that being able to get that film in there would be a challenge, if not impossible.
Really?
Yeah, but yet if a jury saw that film ahead of time, thanks to the efforts of Jason Bermas or Alex Jones, it's a whole different story because they've already seen it. There's no prosecutor trying to keep it out of evidence. So it's really, you really want to try to do your education.
So even in your last statement, you're limited to what you can do. I was always under the impression that you could present anything in the final statement.
It's very, very controlled. I mean, you have to, and that's why I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Jeff Dickstein and his knowledge of 30 plus years to know how to box a judge in and make sure that you get in what needs to get in, so that the jury can see, you can communicate your innocence. It's a very high challenge.
I mean, you were telling me it's pretty much nightmarish. And
to sit there and wait for the verdict
I can't even imagine. I mean, I'm in a big baseball game as a high school kid. That's a big moment. Or there's a big job interview, and your heart's kind of sunk down there, and you're just waiting. But you're literally moments away to find whether you're going to be a free man or you're going to spend years in prison.
Yeah, that was the only time I was holding hands with other men. my defense attorneys on either side of me.
That is great. So if people want to get in touch with you, what's the website? How can they help you out, Joe?
My website's freedomabovefortune.com. I've got a radio show on libertyworksradionetwork.com on Saturday mornings from 7 to 9 Pacific. And I'd like people to just join my email list at freedomabovefortune.com and keep in touch.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me.
All right, Jason. Thank you.
We'll be back after this. News Blitz, first 2 segments. Then we're going to do Earth 2100. It's the Infowarrior, prisonplanet.tv, Infowars.com.
This is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you again about a company that has supported us in the truth movement for years. Inner Health Botanicals. This company produces the highest quality superfood around, called Inner Food. My wife just loves the stuff. And now the health ranger, Mike Adams, has awarded Inner Food his Editor's Choice Award for Best Superfood of 2009. Inner Food is loaded with 20 great organic ingredients. No fillers, no sweeteners. It would be impossible to blend this up for a better price, and their formula really works. This is the real thing for the great health you need. Try the Nutri Cafe. They're great organic coffee infused with polysaccharides that boost the immune system. A truly healthy coffee that tastes great. And take it from me, folks, it really does taste great. Don't forget to try their other great products. Go to www.enerfood.com. That's www.enerfood.com. Or just click on their banner on Infowars.com for special pricing.
You're listening to GCN, the world leader in independent talk radio.
I never remorse for you, no letters endorsing you. Pole position in the coffin is what is costing you. The caucus bosses who control the fortunes too. The mortgages of a culture with losses through and through. But it's the rebel arm. Godspeed with devil's charm. The shit made get switchblades in every arm. And this way we ixnay on any harm. Cause snakes play and fakes lay like hidden bombs. We march in unison. The soul is truer than eternal missions with just a lifetime to do it in.
All right, we are back. And I'm going to do a bit of a news blitz here in this segment and the next. Then we're going to get to Earth 2100. We'll take your calls at the 30 after mark on 2100. Then we're going to go back to that. More news. I guess I'm going to take this last comment for Joe Banister, even though he's no longer in studio and he does got to get moving. He's going all the way to Dallas tonight. So let's just go to Dan in Connecticut. Dan, what's up?
Nothing much. Have you ever heard of Dave Merland by any chance?
No, I can't say I have.
Well, Dave Merland was actually fined 1 penny by the IRS twice, and they paid the fine, so he had a fine of none. You can go to jurisinformatics.com, check him out. He's got a very interesting angle he takes him on, and it's so effective they can't even touch him. So
all right, I'll definitely check that out. It sounds like you're on the run, man. I hear the cops in the background. Get out of there.
Oh, no. It's craziness over here. Somebody must have done something nuts. So
all right. I thank you for the call, Dan. I'll check it out. Asheville man charged in alleged Liberty Dollar fraud scheme. Federal authorities arrested an Asheville man, and what they said was a scheme to undermine the U.S. currency system and defraud consumers with so-called Liberty Dollars. Now, these dollars aren't defrauding at all. They say they're an ounce. They have a $20 value on them, just like any silver coin that's been made in the last 5 to 10 years. And it is hard currency. If people want to trade you for hard currency, that should be legal. It should be legal tender. No one's trying to pass it off as something that the federal government prints up. William Kevin Innes marketed the barter currency, like it's bad to trade. See, they can't tax you when you trade with one another, when you have a system in which there are hard assets that the government does not control because they can't just print it out of nowhere. They don't like that. They don't appreciate it. And you won't believe how many years of prison this man is facing. This barter currency in Western North Carolina recruited merchants willing to accept it and give it as a change for products bought with real money, according to an indictment unsealed this week. Innes, 53. This is a 53-year-old man. 53. They are going to charge him with up to 45 years in prison if he's convicted. 45 years in prison for taking a silver coin that will retain its value, that will have inherent value once the dollar completely collapses, and bartering with other people in his area. God forbid. See, they know the Lakotas are doing this now, and they're making a $50 marker, and they don't like that one bit, but they're not under their jurisdiction currently, because that's a tribal government. So now they're starting to go after people in this country to make it clear that it's not good to have silver and gold. Silver and gold are bad. They're very bad. Don't you understand? They're not good for you. You don't want them. Don't save your family. Don't save your home. Gold was only, $300 6 years ago, and now it's $900 plus, almost at $1,000. That's a bad thing. That means gold is worthless. Go invest in the stock market. The stock market's great. Go get into the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ's great. Don't you understand how this works? So now they're trying to bully people. This is unbelievable. Innes made an initial appearance before a federal magistrate judge in Asheville Wednesday and was ordered detained pending a detention hearing set for Monday before his judge in Charlotte, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. Liberty dollars are coins made of silver or gold and are touted as inflation-proof and a way to encourage buying local goods. That's what they are. That is correct. They are inflation-proof. Correct. When groups seek to undermine the U.S. currency system, the government is compelled to act, said acting U.S. Attorney Edward Ryan of the Western District of North Carolina. You know what, listeners? Here's your opportunity to take part in something. Here's a way to be proactive. Here's something that you can do. You can contact